What does this sign generally denote around the world? A dollar, and in some places, a peso. Which currency uses this symbol? The euro. Which currency uses this symbol? The pound sterling. The yen symbol appears in two major economies. Which ones? Japan, yen, and China, yuan. Which currency uses this symbol? The Indian rupee. Which Asian currency uses the won symbol? The South Korean won. Which Middle Eastern currency uses this symbol? The Turkish lira. Which West African currency shows N? The Nigerian naira. Which Southeast Asian currency uses the P symbol? The Philippine peso. The dong symbol denotes which high-denomination currency? The Vietnamese dong. This symbol belongs to what currency? The shekel. This symbol represents what currency? The ruble. What is a currency subunit? A fractional unit like cents that divides the main unit. How many cents make 1 US dollar? 100 cents. Name a currency divided into thousandths rather than hundredths. Kuwaiti dinar, 1,000 fils. What's the difference between renminbi and yuan? Renminbi is the currency. Yuan is a unit of it. What's the difference among krona, and koruna? All mean crown. Which country's official currency name is pound sterling? The United Kingdom. What do terms like centavos, sen, and pence have in common? They're subunit names in different currencies. What is legal tender? Money that law recognizes for settling debts. What is fiat money? Currency backed by government decree, not a commodity. What is ISO 4217? The international standard for currency codes. How are most ISO codes formed? Two letters from the country plus one from the currency name. What does USD stand for? United States dollar. What does EUR stand for? Euro. What does GBP stand for? Pound sterling. What does JPY stand for? Japanese yen. What does CNY stand for? Chinese yuan, renminbi. What does CHF stand for? Swiss franc. What does CAD stand for? Canadian dollar. What does AUD stand for? Australian dollar. What does NZD stand for? New Zealand dollar. What does BRL stand for? Brazilian real. What does ZAR stand for? South African rand. What does INR stand for? Indian rupee. What does MXN stand for? Mexican peso. What does TRY stand for? Turkish lira. What does SAR stand for? Saudi riyal. What does AED stand for? United Arab Emirates. Dirham. What does XDR denote? IMF special drawing right. What does XAU denote in ISO 4217? Gold, 1 troy ounce. Which code is widely used for Bitcoin though not an official ISO currency? XBT. BTC is used informally. As of 2025, how many EU member states use the euro? 20. Which country most recently adopted the euro? Croatia in 2023. Which EU country has a formal opt-out from adopting the euro? Denmark. Which EU country still uses the krona without a formal opt-out? Sweden. What mechanism keeps Denmark's krona close to the euro? ERM2, Exchange Rate Mechanism 2. Which microstates use the euro via formal agreements? Andorra, Monaco, San Marino, Vatican City. Which two Balkan economies use the euro unilaterally? Montenegro and Kosovo. Which country shares the Swiss franc with Switzerland? Liechtenstein.